Hello. Let me see, does this actually work yet? You never know. Let me know, is everything okay? Hello there, it's Elias. Eluukkanen. Whatever you call me. I'm here. I need to test, does this actually work before we can actually begin. So yeah, let us test. Feel free to join and do some chatting. Your comment will be shown in the window. If you're on a D Live, I think that's not possible. But in every other platform, if you're watching in Facebook, in Twitch, in YouTube, we are everywhere, buddy. We are everywhere. Let me know, is the audio thing good? Let me actually test quickly. I think it's okay. I need to listen to this music in the background quickly. Is it bad or is it good? I need to listen to this music. I think you can't really hear it, that's the problem. I think you can't really hear the music. Let me actually... Can you now hear it a bit more? I don't really know. Let me know. I'm not sure. Well, it's still a beginning stage. Actually put this one away. And I think everything is now okay. So yeah. Hello there, fellow people watching this channel. Or anywhere you are currently watching. Today, looking in here, I'm going to do a stream, bit kind of like a podcast style. We have nice little footage in the background. I got some title over there which I'm going to discuss about 9 to 5. What does that mean? Everybody who is watching, I think most of the people know what 9 to 5 is. That's what most people do. That is what most people do to get money. That's what they do. They go in a workplace, they get paid and live their lives. That's what I tested out. I had not previously done that. Actually, for most of my life, when earning money and such, I have been doing freelancing stuff. And I personally, that's down and upsides. I really like doing freelancing. The reason I tried, however, 9 to 5 was to get some resources to really launch a project I've really wanted to do for some while. I'm not really sure, does the background music still work? Let me actually... Yeah, I'm still testing the audio levels. I think we have some people watching the stream I still need to check out though. I'm not 100% sure about anything really. Yes, that's what I want to stream about, and for most of the time this stream is not really about get the most views, get the most money, get all the ladies. That kind of goal is not really what I want to do here today, for the simple fact that I think I want to really share an interesting story on here, because the 9 to 5 experience I have, it might be very common to people, but I think this one which I'm going to tell about is a very interesting one in itself. How it went off, how it happened, what happened, all those things. I really want to share that, because it was not just a regular thing just to go to work and money and stuff. Like the place I worked at, just some people died in there and stuff. It was not like every day or something, but people got injured, people left, people hated that place after the beginning. And then the place that I worked in, so many things to actually discuss about. I really want to bring them forward. For one thing about why I had the kind of the gap between some upload was the fact that the job was really starting to get bad. If you look at some stuff I've been doing YouTube and Twitch wise, I had regular streaming and YouTube stuff going on, but I had to go away because of the job, and that is why I'm really thinking of going away from that job. But yeah, that's what we're going to discuss about. In the background we have some music going on, which is basically from, I can actually post the link, you can check it out yourself. Not my music though. Yeah, I'm not put my own music. I'm a composer. I don't have my own music in the streams. That's a tragedy. But yeah, here is the comment. You can see the music link. Go and listen it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice song from a game. Anyhow, let's begin. But yeah, so I want to really discuss about this, because this is I think very important for many people. Many of us go to 9-to-5 jobs. It was a really big mind-opening moment for me to go in that kind of job and meet people and such. It really was. Actually, let me actually test. The stream stopped working, did it? Sorry for this. I just need to check out. I think it's okay. Yeah. Kind of a hangout thing, just to discuss about stuff. Yeah, the thing is, I'm now going to say, you should never say this as a streamer, but I really want to say this. Like, I'm not really sure how people are going to watch, how people are going to be interested to hear this. I just wanted to discuss about this. Personally, it's important for me, but I also think that anyone who's thinking of making music stuff, you should really think about this. Like, I once made a video about regular paying jobs, should you go to them or freelance, and the main consensus, it's like it's a two-sided blade. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For me personally, it kind of worked, but one thing really ruined it. At end of January, I went to a full-time job to work on a storage. Basically, carry stuff. One of the basic jobs you can ever find in every country. Oh, I'm sad to hear. Does the YouTube work better? Let me know. Sad to hear. I think it's my connection or something. Let me actually try to find out what it is. We have kind of like a bad connection, I think. Yeah, we got that. Let me try to get that fixed. Let me see all the internet stuff I could get away from the screen. Yeah, let's take that off. Let's take that off. But yeah, I started to work in a storage. Basically, oh god damn. Let me actually try to fix this. I don't want people to watch a stream that is lagging. Let me try to get the music off. Perhaps that's a good solution. Who knows? Might not be. I have some connection issues, it seems, looking at the stuff here. Just a moment. Like, it jumps from 60 kilobytes per second to 1030, and it's like very big changes. Very, very big things. Let me actually try to fix this. Go into the settings. Let me try to get the bitrate down. I suppose we could do the bitrate down. Let's do it like 2000. Alright. Like this. And the vocals, let me try to put those down. Here we go. Is it now better? Is it now better? Let me know. I think it's now looking much better. I did some settings here and there. Let me know, is it better? I'm still going to test it in Twitch, by the way, before we continue though. But yeah, that is how things are going. And I might actually be doing this for an empty audience, because the thing is, it is kind of a personal kind of thing. And like, I could really spice this up and say, oh, it's like, oh, people died and stuff, and people died in my workplace. I could do like very extreme kind of thing on it, but I want to really start from kind of like a small thing here, just tell you how things are. Okay, now Twitch works. Now it doesn't lag. Oh, great, that's good. Let me see the YouTube stuff. Let me see the YouTube stuff. Sorry for inconvenience. Okay, now I think everything is okay. Now the YouTube is even working. Yay! YouTube. That's great. Let me know, is the thing lagging or not? Alright, that's lovely. That's lovely. Alright. So let's continue where we left off. The thing is, the tale of eluukkanen, me, going to a regular paying job. It's kind of like a normal thing. Oh, that's weird. I need to still fix that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think it does. I can see your message. Seems to be better. Don't pop up on the stream. It might have a lag on it, or essentially, but I think it is popping on the stream. Hopefully, yeah. We shall see. We shall see. Going to still check that out. Okay, let us keep going from beginning. I think we could all day do the technical stuff of everything, but I want to just get to the meat and bone of this stuff. That I basically went to a regular paying job. That was what happened. I have always done in the Twitch. Yeah, Twitch doesn't work. Yeah, I'll get the Twitch. YouTube works. Let's continue with YouTube. We'll fix that on future date. Don't you worry. But yes, so the main thing about everybody is like everybody wants to get money, of course. Like everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants to work in a nice job, get savings, perhaps get a nice house and such. For my life situation, a few months ago, I really needed to get out from my previous life situation. You know, just get an own apartment and such, and that is why I really wanted to have a full-time job, because I was thinking that perhaps I could do like just a few hours of work here and there. I could pay the rent, and after the rent I could just work full-time on composing and make more money there, and then I could ditch the main job and just get back to the composing, because the problem with composing is not that it brings money. Like, of course it brings money if I approach it the right way. The problem is that if I do it, it's very irregular. The normal job which I was part on back in the day, actually like the freelancing stuff, like 1 month it could bring like $1,000, 1 month it would like 2,000, and then few months nothing. Like that's kind of like an issue. That is an issue if you want to pay like a rent and stuff, and it is not good. So that is what kind of problem I had. And I always started from zero resources. I had zero things, zero everything, and I needed to get some resources to get back into the action because essentially if you have anything you do on the internet, you need some kind of resources, some kind of money to invest on things like equipment. You can't really, like, there are free stuff out there, but those are not the best ones which will bring you to the project, because projects, if you participate to them, you really need money, income and stuff to really get on those. So that's kind of like the bummer thing you need to do. That's kind of the thing you need to do. And with zero resources as I had, I from the beginning, I mean, you could not really invest too much. I could invest here and there, but not ever too much as I really wanted to. And that brought me to thinking about the regular paying job. In my current city where I live in, the regular paying job I wanted to try out, there was this very big storage by this company, built, logistical company, just some stuff all around. It began, and that company started to really put resources there, like millions of dollars, to this very, very big logistical center near the capital, and it was in my hometown. So, like, why not? The hometown work situation has always been that everybody goes and works to the capital city of Helsinki. I live in a place called Järvenpää, Lake End, translated to English, and that place has always been a place where everybody just goes somewhere else to work. And it's kind of a tragedy in a sense, but also it is good for people who want to just make families and such, because then those cities are very much calm places. If you know like that city from Kingdom Hearts, the Twilight Town, that kind of city. Järvenpää is very much like that. You know, very calm. Nothing really happens ever. So it is very good for families. It is very, very good for families. And my situation has always been that, you know, I wanted to get some work to just see how that went. And I was happy to test it out. And I did. And I went to this workplace. It was my first kind of like normal work, because I've always done freelancing. I've done money with it. I have a CV from it. But they were not interested about my composing experience at all, you know, going to storage, not at all. They wanted to hear, you know, how well did you carry stuff, and they really didn't think freelancing as a real job. Like that was kind of like, okay. It was pretty, like, I could understand them. Of course, composing cannot be really transferred to the storage environment, but it just felt like, of course I could do this job, and why are you just like really wanting to know, can I do just lifting? Of course I can do some lifting stuff, so I did. I went to the storage. Storage was this big building, big building, and overall, like, the world view of the people who work there very different from my own. The groups I'm part of, they are very artistic. They do artist stuff, but like these people I met there, they are like regular people. They have like, they want money, they want to have families, very simple and humble goals, which I can appreciate, because the society is built on those people. But overall, I was not really part of that kind of same atmosphere. Of course, I can be this kind of, I can put the mask on and try to be this guy, but like, I'm mostly very excitable. I want to really talk about stuff. Like, even people usually try to shun away from, like, very, like, of course not like good subjects, some interesting subjects, but often, like, nowadays I look at the connection stuff is really bad. I'm looking at the, sorry for just cutting in there. I try to actually, let's get the connection stuff even better. It looks really bad. Let me try to see. Can I try to fix it? Brexit, fix it. Yeah, this stream is going absolutely well. Yeah, that's like, oh yeah. The rest stream service I use, it's not really good. It seems not really good. It seems. But I'm going to stream nonetheless. I'm going to stream nonetheless. Yeah, but that's the experience at the beginning. I was not really in. It really didn't feel like homey. Essentially, that's my kind of initial thoughts on it. But after a while, I got used to it. I could still do YouTube. I could still do stuff in the background. But then at one point, like the whole storage thing is like. It is like working inside a big monster, because the whole thing is like you need to get stuff done. You need to get these like products to the shops, and you need to have a special, like, you have to get over a special limit of how much you need to do in a certain day. Of course, like, that's regular stuff. But there was the boss I had was really up in this kind of world of numbers. We had these kind of microphones all the time, constantly on us. They were like computers telling us what to pick and what to do, like very basic stuff. People who work in these places, they know how it is. But it was a kind of mind opening for me, because I've never really worked in that kind of environment, and also I got a lot of appreciation for people who work in these places, because I tell you, it's rough sometimes, just working 8 to like from 4 p.m. to 0 a.m. to like that kind of hours, in just carrying some bananas and all the kind of vegetables. Not the best job you can have, I tell you that much. Not the best job. And that's what I did for a few months. I carried stuff, I went to stuff there, and I could still do YouTube, I could still do music, and I could still do work really efficiently. But then things started to happen. The workplace in the beginning was really something people were excited about. People wanted to be part of the company, wanted to really embrace it, wanted to really be good in what they did. But at some point I started to notice cracks because good people started to leave the whole place. The very, very good people who worked very well, they started to leave all of a sudden. Why people started to leave, why people could, why there was this kind of hurry to leave, why people didn't want to stay there for long. Usually the best people who had many other choices, they left first, and that is what happened. By the way, quickly looking at the bit rates. I think I'm not going to use the restreaming program anymore. I think it's good to focus on one streaming place, and I think I'm going to try Twitch next time only because then if I just do this kind of streaming everywhere, it kind of lags all the time. Of course, afterwards it's easy to watch, but you know, the streaming experience goes away. But yes, people started leaving. People started to really talk behind bosses' backs about their job. I was really trying to, impress the bosses. I could work okay. I thought I could, impress with my work, improve, and then get to better positions. Because even the storage people who carried stuff, they have kind of like a inner culture in there. Like the worst place to work at was the vegetable section because everything was heavy, days were heavy, and pay was not really good. Like some inner payment shit going on in there as well, and there were like some improved areas. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear. This is not good. Not good. I really want to have the stream in good quality, but like for some reason it doesn't. Let me try to still do some setups here. Bitrate. Let me still do bitrate with this one down. Okay, this might be, the stream might look actually worse now, but I think it should work more okay, I suppose. Yeah, it stopped loading for me. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, that kind of experience I had. There was different kind of cultures all the way, the whole workplace. People, in some places you could work and enjoy yourself, like in the cold section where there were like frozen stuff. People really wanted there because there was extra pay. You could get some extra gaps, just to go and sit in cafeteria and such, and the pay was nicer and such. And I was never really like there were people who got those places without asking, and I never really got to those places. I wasn't really, of course, thinking about my job prospects as a storage worker, if you know what I mean. I was not really excited about being a storage worker ever in my life because I'm a composer guy. But I just noticed this kind of environment there, that some people were in the better positions, some people were in worse positions, and some people could climb the ladder easily. They didn't need to actually even do that much, and people like me who had to really work all the time just to even just get to normal numbers. I was not really good in storage, I must tell. There were very, very good people. I was like normal level, but there were clearly people who had like worked there for tens of years, and I would never want to work in storage that long. But I was not the best of the bunch, but I could still do the work efficiently. The problem started to arise when people started, like one guy died when the building stuff happened in the they were building kind of like an extra area there, and some people fall off the cliff, not from the roof, and then people started to leave because they were like, we had this kind of machines where we put stuff on, like this kind of like not like, they were kind of like small electronic trucks which we had. We could have very heavy lifts on behind of the truck, and those lifts we had to bring to those cars which were going towards the markets and shops and such. You know, every order we had to fill, and then we went with the order to the place, and it was taken to the shops. And those machines, people were clashing on doors, to walls, and to each other with those machines. They were not really safe machines, I tell you, because this, you know, you could actually even go very high speed with those, because essentially, the if you have worked in any logistical place, the stuff you need to do, stuff you need to get around, you need to be very quick, you need to be fast, and it's not very safe. And even people, like, they lost their legs and such, not fully, but they like broken bones. And I was really at that point started to think, should I really work in that kind of environment? People started dying, people started leaving, people started getting hurt. I even know a guy who has still like walking sticks after 2 months. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good to really. I don't really want to die for my workplace, to be honest. I don't really want to ever die on just working on a storage and such, because I am. It is still lagging? Oh my, I'm sad to hear that. I tried all the fixes. I'm sorry if it lags. If you leave, no problem. That's okay. I need to fix this on my own part. It's kind of my own job. Own job to fix the streams. But anyways, that's what happened. People started dying. People started losing their bones, essentially. And people started talk behind their bosses' backs, like, really much. They really started to talk behind their backs because the bosses, they made really big mistakes, like financial mistakes. They had stuff brought from Germany, like work equipment, and then the work equipment was delivered, but it was never taken from in front of the door, and that's why it was taken back to Germany, and that's why it like the shipping and all was actually like much bigger than it originally was. There was this kind of shit. Also, like, we have work laws in Finland which every company should abide by. I think there was the law committee, some kind of people who watch this kind of stuff, like what committee? No, not committee, but like this kind of unions. Yeah, there are work unions for us in the storage workers, and they visited the store one time, and they found a lot of things against law in there. Like, they got a big fines because of that. And all of that is just like the place, the place itself. It was very big. That was very interesting to work at. The people were nice, but the leadership is still currently really bad. Because overall, people didn't leave because they didn't want to work there. Because most people wanted to, but you could never actually go to bosses to talk with them to actually get like a good working conditions for yourself, in a sense that you were always on the down end of the whole hierarchy. And I was able to get some stuff done for myself. I needed some days off for my streaming stuff. I needed some days off for interviews and such. I was able to get them because I had like this very. I was able to negotiate with them in a sense that I was like the hierarchy works like this. There were us on the bottom, then there was like like lower bosses, then were the middle bosses, and then were the higher bosses, which had like a power over everything, and every bosses tried to kiss their feet. And my strategy was, when I wanted stuff happen, I contacted the upper bosses, who did not, of course, know what happened in the ground. And I was just thinking, like, hey, like, I want, like, I could try to, work with this stuff to get like some kind of agreement with my lower bosses on this kind of idea. And then I had the kind of leverage because I contacted the upper bosses first and got stuff done because of that. Yeah, that's that kind of strategy you had to use to actually work in that place. Just work and contact your upper people. Not the real bosses you have, but like the bosses, those your bosses have, and then have a leverage because of that. You can't really like work with the bosses you got on the lower level, the level the workplace had. Like the hierarchy was not working. The people on the lower end could not really get the stuff done with their bosses, and that was kind of like a problem many had. Not just me. I talked with many people who had experience working other places. One guy had once worked in Nokia, like the company of Nokia, which built mobile phones and such, and he said like the contrast to this workplace was like day and night. You couldn't really work out anything. You couldn't really work out the stuff you had to work out. Yeah, kind of boring stuff, I tell you, just me telling about my work. I want to make actually bigger video about this, which was like which is going to be edited, and there's going to be like more interesting like visuals and such. But I tell you, like just working as a freelancer, seeing how people are treated, this kind of like lower, like it's not officially lower class people, but these people who are like very young. Of course, like I'm young as well, that's why I got the job. Young, they don't have much experience in other places, so they don't have much any place else to go. They don't have much education. They need to pay the bills, and that place offers them a place to work at. And the work conditions are really bad. Like mentally, you have to you have to struggle to actually get negotiations with the bosses, because ultimately they don't care about you. Of course, no workplace does, but they don't even want to, like, you cannot agree with make any kind of agreements with them. Like at the same time they're telling, oh, you're working so hard, you want be part of the company and blah 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 blah, but at the same time their actions show that they don't really care on what you do, and you can't really improve your working status as working hard. Because one of my working friends in the storage, he was able to carry a lot of stuff on his own, like a lot of stuff. He was able to just get the big loads of orders at one day, and in any other storage company he would have get paid for each of those orders he fulfilled. And only things he got like was people like the bosses were like, hey, you work like a machine, that's cool, like, yay, that's cool, keep it up. But he never actually got anything extra from that, but he should have. He was really good in his job. Like I got like 80% what he did, like he in one work day. He was be able to really quick in that job. And yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of the problem the workplace had. The problem started to arise, people leaving, people dying, people getting hurt, but people couldn't be able to even negotiate stuff in there, because of course our leverage, our negotiation position being of the lower end, even if we had unions, was really bad. Most people who were able to go, they left. And currently I'm thinking myself leaving, really much so. I don't really think those people in the company, they know I have a YouTube channel, some of them, but I don't really think they're going to watch this at all. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave that company at very soon, like in 1 or 2 weeks. I'm just working on stuff, and I can get the some payment going on the side of just getting rent on, getting all that kind of stuff done, and then I'm planning to just get on eluukkanen and really starting to do this stuff much more, really starting to go forward much more. That is the plan, that is what I'm going to do, and that is where I'm going to go. Yeah, this is how it's going. So what about that? Like, I experienced 9 to 5, I didn't like it. I can see why people do it, because some people don't have any other choice. But just looking at the kind of the job prospects and seeing how people act in that area of just being 9 to 5, working there. Like, so many people have dreams, they want to do this and that, but ultimately they are in a position that they have to just invest most of their time to this workplace, because the storage worker itself, like if I think about how much money did I bring to the company when I do my calculations, like I could see the prices of the products, I could see how many products I actually carried, So every day I made like $10,000 for like, or $8,000 for the whole store to just bring me the products all the way, because that's how many products one storage worker actually brings. Like, that's how much money we are able to bring from point A to point B, and how much money those people who work on that place, that position, it's like it's not even 1% out of that. It is like 0.002% of like how much the storage worker himself gets from the amount of work he actually does, how much money he actually does by being the middleman. And it's not a very good kind of numbers, I tell you. I've been trying to study how to make this more working, the job I do at music and such, and 9 to 5 job, usually the amount of money the company gets is much more from the work you do than rather than yourself. Of course, that's how it works. But when I look at music, I can get, even though the prospects might be harder, the challenge might be harder, I will be getting still the 100%, which in that workplace which I were at, I was not able to get at all. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that's kind of like the thoughts I have. Like, they're very not too detailed, I tell you. The problem with this kind of stream is that we have some technical problems, and that's why it was not really a live show. If you're watching afterwards, if you were able to get to this point, congratulations, drum rolls, people are going to cheer on you, because I could really understand why people are not watching at this moment, because we have some streaming issues at the moment of time. However, that is what happened. I'm going to make a more interesting, more interesting video about this, because I think this topic is something like how people do job prospects, how the companies usually work and behave, and what kind of deals you should go to, and what kind of contract you should have. That is important. In places like America, where the unionization and the laws and such are not on the side of workers as so much, and as in Finland, like we in Finland, we could go to the union of the storage workers, and then they sent some legal guys there, and they could get big fines because of that. That's what we could do. And those individual workers could get, if they went to that union, they could get paid for the amount that they needed to get to the next work's position. And that's a very good thing to have. You don't need to be relying on just working on a shitty place. As in some places in America, I've even heard some people who had to work like 3 jobs at the same time, which is crazy. It is crazy. But yes, that is overall kind of the picture we have. I cannot, it would take millions of years to get into all the details. There were some interesting people I met. I'm going to perhaps, if I do some projects, work with those people, because there were some artist guys like myself working there, because that was their first job and such. There was this one interesting programmer and animator guy I really want to work with. He's a really interesting guy, and that's about. Of course, there were others that were not, let's say, artistic, but they were interesting people. But I was able to get from this experience something. I was able to see how the industry works in storage and logistics, how low valued people are in these positions, how actually limited you are in these positions, and I'm now much more confident to actually go full time and composing, because I know this is not the way how it should go. This is not how the way it should go. So this was a eluukkanen video talking about some stuff on my life. I am not sure how people are going to react. I'm going to do this regularly because I just need to clear my head out on this. I usually, like, of course I can talk with 3 people about this, but I really want to clear some head on this, because it has been on my mind for so long. Just this needs to stop. I need to get back to music. Even though it's financially more unstable, I need to get back to music, because music was much more fulfilling. Yes, indeed.
Anyways, I think that's the end of the stream for myself. Thank you for tuning in. If you are currently watching, if you haven't watched, no worries. This was a kind of like a stream which I was streaming in many places, and I'm not going to. I'm going to perhaps in the future only stream in YouTube and in Twitch, because we have some kind of issues with the multi-streaming program you're currently using, the Facebooks and such. I'm not really sure how people watch. There are one people in Facebook watching and in Twitch as well, but and in YouTube. But yeah, very much going to be working on this again, getting this better and such. Thank you for watching, wherever you are, I wish you a great day. See you later.